Alright guys, I'm back with another Arc 3.0 speculation video. It seems that that's all I'm making on the channel right now, and I totally have not recorded this video. Then after recording it, realized I was muted the whole way through. So we're going at it again. In this video, I specifically want to talk about super damage and how it may have the potential to be one of the best things to use in the next season. Now, I'm specifically talking about Arc supers, and obviously with Arc 3.0 coming out, it's going to completely change the way we play the game with Arc subclasses. But if we take a look at what we already have, obviously things like Chaos Reach or even a Thunder Crash Titan is really good for boss DPS. And we're also getting a brand new Hunter super that is probably going to be the DPS super for the Hunter Arc subclass. Obviously, you have things like Storm Trance for At Clear, then Chaos Reach for boss DPS, then Titan for Fist of Havoc for At Clear, and Thunder Crash for boss DPS. So I would imagine the new Hunter super will be the DPS super. Now, just because Arc 3.0 is coming out, that obviously doesn't mean the supers are going to be even better than they are now. We know Thunder Crash is already really good, Chaos Reach is okay, but there is a lot of things that could potentially make them very good. And the first thing I want to go over is the fact that we are getting Arc 3.0, and there could be potentially some new fragments. So if you actually just take a look, we already know all our aspects that are coming for Arc 3.0, but we only know 4 of our fragments, and every 3.0 subclass has 14 fragments. So that means there are 10 left, and we could potentially see some crazy things that involve supers. The first thing that comes to mind is Transcendence. This could very potentially be made into a fragment, and this is when cast with full grenade and melee energy, Storm Trance lasts longer and fully restores health. They could very easily change the word Storm Trance in this and just put any Arc super. So things like Arc Staff could last longer, Storm Trance could last longer, maybe the new Hunter super could last longer. We don't exactly know how that was going to work yet. Fist of Havoc would last longer. Thunder Crash wouldn't take benefits of this, but Thunder Crash is already really good enough. It doesn't really need to use this. But if this did work for things like Chaos Reach or Hunter Super, you could potentially see some crazy damage output with your supers. So theoretically, let's say Transcendence is a fragment. That means we can come over to our collections and start taking a look at exotics that would also increase that. And obviously the first one to talk about is Geomax Stabilizers. This is a very basic exotic, but it says damage to targets with Chaos Reach extends its duration. So this could pair with Transcendence, and you would just have a Chaos Reach that literally lasts forever. For hunters, you have things like Radiant Flux, where when you do damage with your Arc Staff, you increase its damage, output, and duration. And Arc Staff at one point in the game, believe it or not, was one of the highest DPS supers in the game. A lot of people used it to kill bosses if you get the combos correct. And Radiant Flux was obviously at the forefront of that. And we also know we're going to have aspects like Lethal Current, which basically makes your Arc Staff hit twice after dodging, which is going to be really, really good for DPS. And even if Arc Staff isn't that good, you again still have the new Hunter super that you could look forward to as well. I mean, even things like Blight Ranger might be good if you can deflect stuff. Then if we take a look at Titan, obviously Caress the Fallen Star is not going to work with Transcendence if it is a fragment. This will obviously give your Thunder Crash a lot of damage, because what it does is basically just give the Thunder Crash a lot of damage, and you get an overshoot when you use it. Now, it doesn't end there, but just to recap, if you have any of your Arc supers, you can pair an exotic with it that increases damage or duration. On top of that, there is the potential to have Transcendence as a fragment, which would then further increase the duration of those supers. Then if we come take a look at the TWAB, we already have a lot of our seasonal mods that we know about, and the main one I want to talk about is Thunderous Retort. So Arc supers do more damage when cast while in critical condition or amplified. So this means when you're wounded or when you're amplified, which is the brand new Arc 3.0 buff, which is relatively easy to get, it seems, you're going to be doing more damage. If this is like 20 to 30% increased damage, this could be very good alongside all the duration increases. And the way these worked in the past, if you were critically wounded and casted it, it still actually gave you the damage bonus even after you heal. So I'd imagine if you're amplified and cast it throughout the whole super, you will get the increased damage. And typically in the past, these also cost around 6 energy, so it is a hefty amount, but you do get a pretty good benefit out of it. And another thing to mention is Sundering Glare. This is basically a mod, so when you get precision hits from a faraway target, you're going to apply a debuff to them. So if you can have somebody set up a Sundering Glare debuff, then have everybody else with the Thunderous Retort, everything else prepared to do damage with the supers, you could potentially melt bosses with all the abilities coming together with your supers. So that's pretty much it for the super speculation in this video. Let me know if you guys would like to see super damage be at the forefront of doing, damage in the raids or anything like that. I think it could be really fun. It could be fun to set up, and I am very excited and looking forward to the potential that we could see with some of these brand new mods and potential fragments. But I think that's going to do all for me. If you guys did enjoy and would like to see more content just like this, consider subscribing, dropping a like, and turning notifications on. Also, if you guys would like to join my Discord, follow me on any of my socials, all that will be linked in the description. But just know watching this video is way more than enough. Every single bit of support from you all is truly appreciated. But thank you so much for watching this one, and have a great day. Peace.